wafer, 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 cake, wafer, 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 wafers, wafer, wafer, wafers, wafers, making them wafers, adding wafers, removing wafers, modifying wafers, cleaning the wafer, and finally, inspecting the wafer. Wafer, 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 wafer through a stencil, which is technically called a wafer. The wafer, wafer, leaving only a wafer. Wafer, wafer, wafer goes to a stripper. Wafer, 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 wafer. A lot of wafers are used to add or deposit a wafer. The wafer, typically called a wafer, and therefore has a different technical name called a wafer. Wafer, high energy wafer, 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 the wafer regions with phosphor, boron, or wafer, kind of like a wafer cannon launching a wafer 6 feet into a wafer, ultra pure wafer, and then dry it with nitrogen wafer, wafer. Level resolution to take pictures of the wafer. It takes 3 months to complete. A wafer is spread across the wafer, 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 weakening the wafer, 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 a wafer. Note that cleaning and wafer metrology or inspection steps occur in between incredibly secret wafer. And it took us 180 hours of scouring wafers by refining wafers into pure wafers. Furthermore, these wafers are incredibly delicate, but after being populated with CPUs, it's worth closer to 50,000 wafers. Wafer